My wife wanted an open marriage. Until I caught her in bed with another man a year later. Here's what happened. Alright, so let me tell you how the biggest mess of my life started. My name's Jason Miller. I'm 32, born and raised in Austin, Texas. I work in IT, boring desk job, nothing crazy. And I thought my life was pretty damn stable. My wife, Emily, she's 30, works as a nurse at St. David's Hospital downtown. We'd been together since college, married for 6 years. We had a small house in South Austin, 2 dogs, decent income, no kids yet, though we talked about starting a family soon. You know, all that white picket fence suburban dream, sh*t. But here's the thing, I always had this gut feeling Emily was restless. Like, she loved me, sure, but she was the kind of woman who always needed excitement, attention, a thrill. And me? I was more the order pizza, watch Netflix, and cuddle on the couch kind of guy. One night about 2 years ago, Emily came home from a shift, poured herself a glass of wine, and dropped the bomb on me. Jason, she says, real calm, like she's asking if I want to get takeout. Have you ever thought about opening up our marriage? I nearly spit out my beer. The hell are you talking about? She starts going on about how some of her coworkers are in open relationships, how it's supposed to be healthy, how we're still young and should explore. Now listen, I'm no saint, but I'm also not an idiot. I know what open marriage means in 99% cases. One person already has someone lined up, and the other is just supposed to play catch-up. I told her straight, Emily, if you're not happy, just ***king say so. But don't feed me this ***T about open marriage. That's just cheating with extra paperwork. She got defensive, of course. Tears in her eyes, voice raised. It's not cheating if we're honest about it, Jason. Don't you trust me? And right there, in my gut, I knew. She wasn't asking, she was telling me. Over the next few weeks, Emily started acting different. More makeup before work, longer overtime shifts, her phone glued to her hand. Every time I walked into the room, she'd flip her phone face down. Classic signs, right? I confronted her. More than once. Emily, are you seeing someone? She'd blow up. Oh my God, Jason, you're so paranoid. I'm just tired from work. But the way she yelled, the way she avoided my eyes, it screamed guilt. One Friday night, she came home late, like 2 a.m., smelling like cologne that sure as hell wasn't mine. I asked her, where the ***K were you? And she just snapped. Why do you always have to control me? Why can't you just trust me for once? I lost it. We were screaming at each other in the kitchen, the dogs barking their heads off, neighbors probably hearing every word through the walls. Plates were slammed, doors were kicked. That was the night I knew we weren't just in a rough patch. Something was breaking. A couple weeks later, I finally got my confirmation. She left her phone charging on the kitchen counter while she showered. Normally, I'd never snoop. But at that point, my sanity was on the line. I unlocked it. She still used my birthday as the code. First thing I see? A thread of text with some guy named Ryan. Messages like, last night was amazing, I can't stop thinking about you. Next time, bring the wine, I'll bring the handcuffs. My blood went cold. I scrolled more. Pics. Not fully nude, but enough. Selfies of her in lingerie I'd never even seen her wear. And here's the kicker. Ryan wasn't some random. He was one of her coworkers at the hospital. Married, with 2 kids. I swear, in that moment I saw red. I felt my chest tighten like I was gonna explode. She walked out of the bathroom, hair wet, towel wrapped around her. Saw me holding her phone. Jason she started. Don't talk. I could barely breathe, I was so angry. She tried to grab the phone from me, but I pulled it back. So this is your idea of an open marriage, huh? Sneaking around, ***king, Ryan behind my back. She started crying instantly, dropping excuses left and right. It's not what it looks like. I was confused. I didn't know how to tell you. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. We screamed at each other for hours. Me pacing the living room, her sobbing on the couch. She admitted she'd been sleeping with Ryan for almost 3 months. 3 months. And you know what she had the audacity to say? I thought maybe if you agreed to an open marriage, it wouldn't feel like cheating. I wanted to put my fist through the wall. That night ended with me grabbing a blanket and crashing on the couch. I couldn't even look at her. My wife. The woman I swore vows to. The next morning, she acted like nothing happened. Made coffee, scrambled eggs. Like, "Good morning, honey." I just stared at her. "Emily, we're done. Do you understand that? This marriage is king over." She broke down again, begged me not to leave, promised she'd cut it off with Ryan, swore she still loved me. But the trust? It was gone. Dead. I thought the night I caught Emily texting Ryan was the worst moment of my life. But no, that was just the opening act. The real storm was yet to come. The morning after, when I told Emily we were done, she dropped to her knees in the kitchen, literally begging. Her mascara was smeared, hair all over the place, and she clutched my leg like some desperate movie scene. "Jason, please. Don't throw everything away over one mistake." One mistake. I barked. "You were messing around with Ryan for 3 months, Emily. That's not a mistake, that's a relationship." She tried to spin it, said it was just physical, that she was confused, and thought she needed more excitement in her life. She swore she loved me, that she didn't want to lose our marriage. But my trust? Gone. Shattered like glass. I told her, "Emily, you broke us. You broke me. And now you want to act like you can just sweep it under the rug?" Not happening. That day, I packed a duffel bag, grabbed some clothes, and went to crash at my buddy Mark's place. He lived up in North Austin, bachelor pad, no wife, no kids, just beer, video games, and a pull-out couch. When I showed up with red eyes and that bag over my shoulder, Mark knew. "She cheated, didn't she?" he asked, cracking open a beer. "Yeah," I muttered. "With a coworker." He handed me the beer. "Say no more, bro. You're staying as long as you need." The next day, Emily blew up my phone with texts and calls. Half begging, half angry. "Jason, you're being dramatic, come home. We can fix this, I'll go to therapy with you. You're really just gonna throw away 6 years?" Every buzz of my phone made me sicker. But the real kicker? Around 6 p.m., Ryan's wife, Sarah, messaged me on Facebook. She wrote, "Hi Jason. I think we need to talk. I just found out about Emily and Ryan. I'm so sorry. I swear." My hand shook reading it. This poor woman. She had 2 kids with this guy, and he's out there messing around with my wife like it's nothing. I called her right away. Sarah was crying, her voice broken. She told me she'd seen messages on Ryan's phone, confronted him, and he admitted everything. "He says it didn't mean anything," she sobbed. "But Jason, he risked our whole family. I don't even know if I can look at him anymore." I told her flat out, "Emily and I are done. If I were you, I'd make him sleep in the garage." 2 days later, I did something stupid, but necessary. I went to the hospital parking lot after Emily's shift, waited in my car, and watched. And sure enough, out comes Emily, walking right next to Ryan. Tall dude, scruffy beard, smug face. My blood boiled. I got out of the car and shouted, "H-E-Y, Ryan." Both of them froze like deer in headlights. Emily's face went pale. Ryan tried to act cool. "Jason, man, let's just." "Don't start," I snapped. "You've been messing around with my wife for months. You think you can just strut around like nothing happened." Emily jumped in, panicked. "Jason, not here. Please, people are watching." "Good." I yelled. "Let them see what kind of jerk you are, Ryan." Ryan tried to square up like he was gonna handle me, but I stepped closer, fists clenched, and said, "You touch her one more time, and I'll make sure you regret it." Security came over before it turned into a brawl. Emily was sobbing, Ryan muttered something about not worth it, and I stormed off. My hands were shaking, adrenaline pumping. That was the day I decided there's no fixing this. Divorce was the only option. Word spread fast. Emily told her parents before I could. Her mom called me, voice dripping with guilt and excuses. "Jason, she made a mistake. Don't throw your marriage away. Think about the good times, the love you had." I cut her off. "With all due respect, Mrs. Taylor, your daughter betrayed me in the worst way possible. I'm not staying in a marriage where she's messing around with coworkers." Her dad was more blunt. He said, If she was my wife, I'd have left her too. Don't let anyone guilt you into staying, son. My own mom? She was furious. I never trusted that girl. Always thought she was too wild. And now look. She embarrassed you, Jason. Don't you dare take her back. So yeah, no support system for Emily. She was on her own. It's funny how fast friends pick sides in situations like this. Some of our mutual friends texted me like, "Bro, I can't believe Emily did that. We got your back." Others? They defended her. People make mistakes. Maybe try therapy before divorce. One girl, Emily's best friend, Kayla, even had the nerve to DM me. If you were more exciting, maybe she wouldn't have looked elsewhere. That one stung. But at the same time, it showed me how toxic Emily's circle really was. A week later, I went back to the house to grab more of my stuff. Emily was there, waiting. The second I walked in, she started sobbing again. "Jason, please," I ended it with Ryan. I blocked his number. "I'll do whatever it takes." I shook my head. "It's too late. You didn't just cheat on me, Emily. You destroyed every ounce of trust one had. You don't come back from that." She got angry then. Real angry. "So what? You're just gonna throw away our marriage like I'm trash? After everything we built?" "You already threw it away," I snapped. "The second you let Ryan touch you." She screamed. I mean full-on screamed, like a banshee. "I hate you, Jason. You never made me feel alive." That one cut deep. But you know what? It also set me free. Because at that moment, I realized she wasn't sorry for what she did. She was sorry she got caught. I grabbed my bag, slammed the door behind me, and never spent another night in that house. Within a month, I had a lawyer. We didn't have kids, so that part was simple. The house, though, was a mess. She wanted to keep it, but I wasn't about to let her play happy home in the place we built together while messing around with coworkers. So I told my lawyer, sell the place. Split the money. I don't care. The process dragged on, but I didn't cave. Emily tried every angle, crying, apologizing, guilt-tripping. One night she even showed up at Mark's place at 11 p.m., banging on the door, screaming my name. Mark nearly called the cops. She cried in the driveway, saying she couldn't live without me, that she'd never cheat again. But I didn't budge. I looked her in the eye and said, "Emily, I don't recognize you anymore. The woman I married is dead. All that's left is a liar." She collapsed onto the pavement, sobbing, as I shut the door in her face. By the time the divorce papers were finalized, I felt like I'd been through war. My nerves were shot, my trust in people shattered. I lost weight, drank too much, barely slept. But you know what? I also felt lighter, free, like I'd finally cut off the anchor dragging me down. Emily? From what I heard, she tried to patch things up with Ryan, but his wife kicked him out, and he wanted nothing to do with her once the affair went public. Karma's AB*TCH. And me? I started rebuilding. Therapy, gym, focusing on work, reconnecting with friends who actually gave a damn. It's been a year since everything went down. A whole 12 months of chaos, heartbreak, and slowly clawing my life back together. After the divorce finalized, I moved into a small loft downtown Austin. No backyard, no dogs, but the peace. Oh man, the peace was worth it. I painted the walls, got rid of half the furniture, and focused on me. Gym 3 times a week, therapy sessions, catching up on sleep I didn't realize I'd been missing. I even started dating again, cautiously, of course. Meeting people who respected boundaries, who weren't hiding texts or sneaking around. And you know what? It felt good to trust someone again, even a little. Mark still checks in constantly. "Man, remember last year? You'd have lost it if I wasn't here." Yeah, I remember. But I survived. As for Emily, I'll be honest, I kept tabs. Not stalking, just casual social media check-ins. At first, she was a mess. She lost her friends who sided with me, got zero support from her parents after the fallout, and Ryan? Yeah, he was completely out of the picture. By month 6, she tried to reach out. Texts like, "Jason, I've changed. Can we talk? I regret everything. I never should have hurt you." I didn't respond. Not even once. Because here's the thing. It's one thing to say sorry. It's another to fix a year of lies and betrayal with a text. I heard she moved to Houston a few months back. New job, new apartment, new life. I hope she's truly learned something. But I have zero plans to reopen that chapter. Funny thing about Ryan, karma really did its thing. By the 8-month mark, Sarah, his wife, had officially divorced him. The kids stayed with her. And Ryan? Job at the hospital went south because everyone found out about the affair. Emily wasn't even in the picture anymore. The guy who thought he could have it all ended up with nothing. Not that I wanted revenge or anything. I didn't care enough to chase him. Watching karma unfold quietly was satisfying enough. 1 year later, I can finally breathe without that constant knot in my chest. I wake up, make my coffee, and smile at my reflection without guilt, anger, or paranoia weighing me down. I've learned some harsh lessons. People can surprise you in the worst ways. Trust, once broken, rarely fully comes back. Self-respect is worth more than trying to fix someone who doesn't want to be fixed. I'm stronger now, wiser, and a hell of a lot more cautious with my heart. But here's the kicker. A few weeks ago, out of the blue, Emily sent me one last message. Jason, I hope you're happy. I know I don't deserve anything from you, but I wanted you to know I truly am sorry. I hope life treats you better than I ever did. I read it, took a deep breath, and I did something I never thought I'd do. I typed back, "Thanks, Emily. I'm moving on. Take care." And that was it. No drama. No yelling. No begging. Just closure. Now, I'm dating someone amazing. Lena, a teacher I met at a friend's barbecue. Honest, funny, and completely drama-free. We're taking it slow, but it feels good to be with someone I can trust. No sneaking texts, no hidden secrets. Just life, laughter, and coffee on Saturday mornings. I still think about Emily sometimes, but not with anger, just reflection. What we had, what went wrong. And it's enough to keep me cautious, but also grateful for the freedom I fought so hard to reclaim. A year ago, I was broken, betrayed, and lost. Today, I'm standing tall. Life threw a hurricane at me, but I survived. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's this. Never let anyone make you question your worth. Even if it hurts like hell, even if it feels impossible, you can rebuild. And trust me, life will throw in surprises you never saw coming. But some of those surprises, they're exactly what you needed to move on. So that's my story. Emily cheated, Ryan got burned, my marriage ended, and 1 year later, I'm finally living for me. What would you do in my shoes? Would you forgive, fight, or walk away like I did? Drop a comment below and let me know. And if you want to hear more stories like this, hit subscribe. There's always another chapter waiting.